Connect is expanding very rapidly. We have people spending time with students on various things. We have just people just coming and speaking to students. We have people, alumni interacting with our startups. We have alumni in companies who are now engaging on projects with the faculty. But a lot more is possible. And I think because there's a lot to be discovered. Alumni working in companies need to figure out how things have changed, what can be done nowadays, which couldn't be done earlier, and who are the people who are doing it. A lot of it is driven by the younger faculty. And similarly, I think with the startups and with the student population themselves, they're very different. They change very rapidly nowadays. Every few years, I think the character, in some sense, the character of the student population changes. We have to adapt. We have to find ways to energize them, to find them the sparks that they are looking for, instead of complaining. So there's a huge possibility here, and I am therefore very sanguine about the growth of our relationship with alumni. Something that we started in right earnest not more than, I would say, 25 years ago. And it's taken a lot of time to build it up to this point. Today, of course, we add 2,000 plus alumni every year. It used to be barely a few hundred. And I just finished signing off all the degrees. I think it's 2,000 plus again this year. It'll probably stabilize around that number for several years. And as we all know, a large number are postgraduate students, PhD students, master's students, MTech, MSc, MBA, and so on. And of course, fairly huge undergraduate contingent also. And a lot of them stay on in India now, most of them in fact. Even if they go abroad, it's always now very high mobility, they come and go. We meet a lot of very young alumni who have just graduated a few years ago. We meet them at all our chapter meetings. Increasingly, the average age of the gathering is becoming lower and lower, which is very good. And I see that the younger alumni at these chapter meetings are looking to forge connections with the older alumni. So that's another reason why I can see that they are coming. And so we need to, within the alumni chapters and within the activities of the alumni association, I think we need to look at not only institute alumnus interaction, but alumnus-alumnus interaction in much greater detail. I think alumni are really looking to make those connections and get to do things which they couldn't otherwise do for themselves, for their companies, and ultimately I think they will find ways to do something together for the institute. So I'd urge all of you to have not just AGMs and some few schemes and so on, but to have a lot of reasons for different subsets of the alumni to meet. I don't think you can have this kind of a meeting every time. This has a certain purpose where everybody wants to come, but you have to have other theme-based reasons for subgroups of these alumni to meet, of different age groups and, as I said, across age groups, and so that there is value for all of them. And I'm sure, since all of us have the institute permanently ensconced in some corner of our hearts, I'm sure when you do these things, you will find ways and reasons to engage with the institute in whatever you're doing. So with these words, I'd like to wish you all the very best for the coming alumni year, so to speak, from now to the next AGM. And I hope that we find many good reasons to meet, do things together, and do something for the institute. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. May I now request our Secretary, Mr. Dalton Eddy, to present the annual report of IITMAA.
Respected patron, all EC members, and fellow alumni, I formally invite you for the AGM, and I'm happy that quite a lot of you have come today. You have all of you have got the report in your hands, but I won't read through the entire thing. I will sort of summarize it by a presentation. This is a photograph showing the office bearers of the association at present. The main focus area for the IITMAA is alumni to alumni contact, alumni to student relations, alumni to society initiatives. These are the three areas where we are concentrating on at the moment. So under Alumni to Alumni Connect, we are coordinating and organizing reunions. We arrange family get-togethers through the chapters. We have connecting alumni by way of, sending them newsletters and a lot of other services for them. We also conduct an open bridge tournament, cricket tournament, and whenever we come across alumni who has achieved something special, and special occasions, they are invited and they are honored. The local chapters also arrange for leisure trips. Next is the alumni to student relations. For the past few years, we have been conducting a program called Willkommen. This is mainly to invite the passing out graduates into the alumni fold. We also arrange for industry visits in and around Chennai, and for this, call them for mock interview and group discussions in front of the students. Recently, we have formed the entrepreneurship forums. There is one going on in a good way in Bangalore. In Chennai also, we are starting the same thing. We also conducted some workshop on study abroad and also arranged for leisure trips. Alumni to Society initiative. We invite to the campus students from rural areas. I think our 1970 batch has been doing this for the past few years with Alamati School, and they come regularly and visit the institute. They're taken to the laboratories and everything. Then this time, there are a lot of cycles which is left behind by the students when they leave the institute. So we've collected and all of them and got it repaired, and through the student program, I will distribute it to people who are in need. Now the latest is to start something to develop some the villages in and around this area. So it's in a very initial stage now. We have done some survey in 2 villages in Kanchipuram, and hopefully we should take off in a big way for this. There are, if you read through the report, there are various activities. A few photographs are here, and I would invite you to read through it in detail. And if you have been reading our newsletters, which is coming out every month, you would have seen most of them. We have local chapters in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi, Kerala, Mumbai, and Pune, and we encourage that they, in their own areas, to conduct meetings often, have some interactions with. I happened to visit one such gathering in Delhi, and I was really impressed to see so many of the younger alumni coming and participating. And they also have a lot of interaction with the senior alumni in quite a few areas. So recently we have also started international chapters. It has been going on, especially in North America. It was that for a very long time. It's been recently started in Singapore, Dubai, Canada, and Australia. So we hope that this way we can have a lot of interactions between the alumni, because even today, when we meet somebody from our own batches after so many years, it's really fulfilling to catch up with what we did in those days. The IITMAA also does a lot of services. One is the IITMAA alumni card, which helps you to come for a walk inside the campus. And even though we have a website, we are now converting into a portal so that there will be, online communications. Because we find that not many people visit the websites. So I thought it will be launched soon, and you can have interactions with people all over the place. We also give travel and accommodation assistance. Those who are alumni who are coming to Chennai, if they are wanting something specific, we can ask our office and they'll help you. The next is that quite a few of you are asking for transcripts from the institute. So if you are involve us, we can coordinate with your effort and get those transcripts to you. We also bring out the monthly newsletter. I think most of you would have seen it. In case you have not seen it, I think there is a counter outside. You can tell them so that they can take your contacts. And as said earlier, for reunion also, we have a lot of arrangements and, arranging local tours and things like that. We also have been having a group health insurance, and it has been quite successful for the past 6 years. I think there is a counter outside. If anybody is interested, you can have a look at it. And to run all these things in the office, we have a team of 4 people at the moment. One, of course, is Lata Venkatachalam, who is taken over from February. And she, as the way the things are being organized, you will know the amount of enthusiasm and the input she has done in this particular area. Of course, everybody will know Veni because she has been there right from the beginning of this formation of the institute, the Alumni Association. Vinod Kumar is the web administrator, and Nandi Kesavan is the administrative executive. Thank you. I hope you will read through the report, and we ask for better interaction with the Alumni Association. Thank you.
Professor Bhaskar and other respected dignitaries on and off the dais. Good evening to all of you. Good evening to all of you. I just wanted to make sure all of you are up and awake. So, yeah. So, okay, good. So, my job is to submit the accounts to the AGM. We ran the accounts with the auditors last month. We got it certified and audited, and then subsequently we put it up in front of the executive committee for adopting the audited report, which was done in the month of June. So my job now is to run it with you and get it adopted in the AGM. I have already circulated the complete income and expenditure statement and the balance sheet, which is available with all of you in your brochure. I do hope you have or you will take time to go through it, and feel free to ask any questions at any point in time. I have only 4 slides here, just to run you with the headline report of the entire audited report. So the first slide talks about the income that we generated during the year. As you know, most of the income comes from the subscription that we get as students contribute when they become alumni and when they enter the institute. And then we have a few other income heads. So we have turned up good income this year, and you can see the corresponding figures with respect to last year. In terms of expenditure, basically expense heads fall under 2 or 3 broad parameters. One, operational expenses, and the second one is on the events that we do, and the third is most of the chapter sponsored events that we do across the country. So those reports are also available with you, both in terms of how these numbers stack up with respect to the last year. And, we are positive in terms of income over expenditure this year. In terms of corpus, we have a healthy corpus, contributed mostly by a lot of fixed deposits we have, and the fixed assets. So we are well over 1 crore with respect to the corpus that we have. So that is the headline numbers in terms of income, expenditure, and corpus. But before I go off the stage, I just wanted to leave you with this little slide that I put together today. In terms of what is the overall philosophy of the association with respect to deployment of funds. Ravi Dalton spoke about some of the major initiatives that we have taken this year. So if you really look, what we are now trying to do is align the fund deployment. The focus now is more in terms of fund deployment and put it to effective use, rather than using it as a retirement kind of fund. So the focus has been to allot the funds across three major sectors of expenditure that we spoke about. One in terms of student-related initiatives, two in terms of improving and enhancing the connectivity with the alumni network across the country. And the third one is, what can we do as give back to the society? So we identified specific areas, and I know Professor Bhaskar was alluding to it. So we had few specific areas which would impact us, and especially with respect to society. Obviously what we are still not able to do is, obviously we cannot boil the ocean. But what we said is we look at society in and around the campus, because that is the one closest to our heart, and see what best we can do to help affected people and needy people and socially backward people so that we can uplift them. So that has been the focus with respect to deployment of funds as far as society upliftment is concerned. We did tremendous inroads with respect to our connectivity with the students, whether it be, from a transactional level, it was anything from conducting mock interviews to group mentoring, to doing entrepreneurial related events. And some of them made sense. We had a lot of connectivity both with alumni and students. We also had a lot of social events with the students, and which improved the relationship with them. For example, we have created a group called Pedal Pushers, which are basically